And welcome to the new video, how to create autonomous agent using Copilot Studio with some tables and data from the Business Central. So, first of all, I would like to introduce you to agents in a Copilot Studio and to give you some short overview what are the agents and what you have to focus whatever and with whatever data you're building agents. So, first of all, agents are separated in three, let's say, huge groups. Group one is the standard retrieval agents, which we are familiar with as a copilots. The next ones are the next ones are task agents, where basically we are pushing them to do some things by prompting them. So we can say, okay, send an email, create this record, or do some stuff. And the third one are basically the autonomous agents, which have capabilities to do certain things in the back of the system without our knowledge. And one of those you will see today. So, what is the idea here? The idea is that we have Business Central on one side, which is not stored on the Dataverse, and the Dataverse is basically really huge advantage in the Copilot Studio because Copilot Studio is the part of the Power Platform, and Dataverse is the native to the Power Platform. So everything what is based on Dataverse is quite in advantage over everything else, and we have to overcome that advantage. So I will give you a couple of options just for you to think about and to understand. And these options are basically depending on the rest of the situation which you have around the business application. So, first of all, and the one which you will see today, is that we have the Dataverse, but we are not using any of the Dynamics 365 customer engagement application product groups. So we have as an option to set up standard data synchronization in between business apps from the Dataverse. And in that level, we will not have purchase order, we will not have sales order, invoices, we will not have items, we will miss a lot of stuff. We will have contacts, accounts, we will have customer vendors and contacts on the other side and price lists. Basically, that's all. On the other side, we can always use virtual tables. And with virtual tables now, on this scenario, we have only Dataverse and the Copilot Studio, and on the other side, Business Central, we are now getting possibility to extend this integration furthermore. So we are getting access to those tables. On the other side, if you have, for example, Dynamics 365 sales, now you're getting possibility to extend Dataverse integration and to get the bigger list of the tables. And then you're working with standard Dataverse tables, which are integrated directly with BC tables. So contacts to contacts, customers and vendors to accounts, items to products, and so on, so on. And this is really good because you're working only with the standard tables. But on the other side, if you need something more, again, I would suggest to move to virtual tables and to create custom API and to extend virtual tables. So let's retrieve to our scenario where basically we have one agent where we want to just build purchase orders, but with small twist. We don't want to create standard purchase order where we have to say, okay, I am using this item, I want five of them, I will buy from this vendor and then move it to this warehouse. No. Let's put the twist that we want to say, okay, we want at this desk, for example, we want five of them, and we would like 10,000 USD as a price. We would like it, of course, depends on the vendor. But that's all. And we can say, okay, expect the date. And that's all. We can put all of these things in adaptive card, which is quite nicely and it is user friendly. But what's next? How the system could know which vendor do we want? And that's the twist. We want to push the system to decide which vendor to choose. And let's do it. So the first and most important thing when you start building the agent is do the description and the general instructions. So basically the descriptions, you're trying in natural language to describe to your agent what he should do. And in general instructions, you're providing him all actions which he is basically executing. So this is the process where you have to think about. In this case, which we are going to have only one trigger, which is not so specifically important. But in reality, what is important is the topics. We are moving back again to the topics, all famous topics from the Power Virtual Agent. And now we want to create some things. So basically now, because we're using orchestration, we are describing, we are not defining phrases, and we are just saying that this tool can handle queries like this. I need to create purchase order for office supplies. I need to create purchase request or something similar. So I will not bother you. Basically, I am trying to gather some variables. So total amount, line counter, requisition line. So basically, I want to collect some variables, but why? I need to collect these variables so that I can ask the list of the items because I don't want to push my users to have to click on the list and not to click on a list, but to type in every time the item name or item number, then to be precise. What I was trying to collect, I was trying to collect the couple of variables which we are going to implement in a prompt, which is part of the agent through AI Builder, where we will have possibility to explain through prompt how we want to collect data from the virtual table in Dataverse and to separate them in a JSON file. So here you can see I want a JSON array having title as a property, having item display name. As you see, this is Dataverse, so we built virtual tables, as I said. This is for some another video where we will explain virtual tables. So basically, it is the virtual table, and value as IT001 in the format title at its desk value IT001, title Boston chair value IT002. So basically, we are pushing him to provide us this this JSON so that we can actively update every time whenever somebody wants to do Business Central, create the new item. We don't have to go to the static list in adaptive card and then to manually add it. We are pushing the prompt to check all the time and to update all the time the list whenever somebody comes to this conversation to first check all the list of the items. And this is the first step. Wonderful. Next thing, again, I will not try to bother you with variables. We are just pushing one adaptive card where we are basically collecting. You can see here we have the date, we have the price, we have the quantity, we have the name. And the name, we are having the drop down because we have previously collected, as you can see here, the JSON array. So we have the JSON, so we can push it as a JSON. And then of course, I have some buttons, so you can see here that I am just conditioning if somebody clicked on a cancel button on adaptive card. So here you can check on adaptive card. If we scroll down till the end of the adaptive card, you can see that we have action cancel, that we have action submit, cancel. So we have a couple of buttons. It is not something crucial, but we have to check if somebody has clicked on this cancel button. We have to end the conversation because he basically don't want to purchase something. Then we are checking if somebody didn't provide the price or quantity, because in this case, if we don't have quantity or some expected price, then we are in an issue. Okay, without expected price, we can continue, but without quantity, we don't have possibility. Then again, we are checking if we have all the values, if JSON collected the items list correctly, and then we are pushing it to the last part where we have again three options. Where if somebody clicked on a button add, so we have possibility to add multiple products, we want to return him to the adaptive card to add multiple products. If he click submit cancel, if you remember I mentioned that button, then we want to remove this, and then in all other cases we want to proceed. What is the next thing? We are proceeding to new adaptive card where we are presenting that this order has been submitted and that this order has been pushed further on to uh, that it has been pushed further on for the approval process because we are purchasing, so we need some manager to approve it. And then from this point, what we have did, we have stopped because if we push this requisition to be created, then so number is submitted, we have created the requisition, we are then pushing our users to the next topic because we want to separate it as much as it is possible on a small level of the topic so that we can control on a better level what is contained in our topic. So now from this, we can jump to this topic. And now you can see immediately that we do not have any description here. So basically, with this, we don't need it because this topic can be accessed only from the previous topic, so nobody cannot call it, and that's one of the reasons why we didn't want to describe it. So here you can see that we are pushing one power automate. Power automate is generally easy because we are pushing it only to right environment, Chronos, and we are sending the orders, or we are creating purchase order. And with that, we need to get the approval previously. And this is the way where we are going to have the connector action when we are getting the approval. So we have to change one status in the Dataverse again, and we are just creating all of these files in a BC, so everything has to be created in a BC. And then we are again setting the adaptive card with the values that this has been successfully created. And after it has been successfully created, this is going to be just sent to the approval process, and then somebody will have to approve it. And now, this is the most important part where we are deciding how we want to analyze the vendors. So before sending the final confirmation message, what we want to do is again prompt it, but now a little bit different. We want to just do exactly the same prompt with the AI builder, but now to push the agent to decide which vendor is the best possible option for this use case of our order which we are trying to provide. So I'm pushing him to analyze the JSON form, which is in previous steps you have seen, and for the last purchase item of Atin's desk, for example, to suggest the best possible vendor which we can organize. And this is the way how we want to return the value. So basically to format as vendor no and vendor name so that we can process it, and to return us as a JSON. But what is important, we want to analyze it from the JSON for this example so that he can always give us the best possible option. And then we are sending the approval, and after that, you're getting confirmation that everything has been created. So basically, this is the process how you can build it. And it is not too complex, and we can test it really fastly so that you can see how it works. But as you can see here, it is important to just follow. There is a lot of different steps. There is a lot of prompts and a lot of checking where you have really to take care about what you want to ask. And again, this is on a level that you are pushing the agents to be fully autonomous and to do some stuff on its own, without necessity of somebody to control him. And if you remember correctly, I have told you here that we will have the drop-down list of the values which we potentially want to select. So we said that is desk, and let's leave this page. We want, for example, 5 of them. Expected price is going to be 10,000 USD, and some expected date is going to be 29, for example, and we don't want more than this. We will say that we need only one. What is going to happen now? He's asking us, do we want really to approve it? So if you remember, we had this option to cancel or again to submit for approval, and we are not going to submit it for approval. So from now on, he's collecting all of these values. And what is going to happen? He's going to create one value. So your requisition has been successfully created. And because I have I am the system admin of everything in both sides. He has created automatically the process. But if I was not the system admin, I have created one small application where you can go and change the statuses. But this is fully Canvas app. It is really separated application. It doesn't need to be in this level needed. So you can do it. You can test it. You can check it. But this is only for the user interface. The reality is that if you are remembering that most important thing is that he is suggesting to buy it from not publisher as they have considered the most largest purchase. So he has automatically decided for us which vendor is the best possible option. And this is one of the way how you can really build the agent with data from the business center. Again, just to return before the end to the beginning, the important thing is to decide how you will store your data. Because some of these things to do directly with the BC tables is almost not possible because of the lot of limitations. And they are not fully exposed to the connectors, and you don't have full access over them. You have multiple options with how to bring the data from the BC to the Dataverse, virtual tables, data sync. You can build for those which you do not have custom APIs, where you can again embed them to the data sync or virtual tables depending on the use cases. On this use case, we decided to use virtual tables, but it does not mean that it is always the best. Data sync has its advantages that it is connected directly to data standard tables, but it is much limited on a number of the tables. On the other side, it is synchronized through job queues in the BC, so it is not, it is not so fast. It is every 30 minutes. On the other side, you have virtual tables where you have fully separated tables. So if you have contacts, you will have two tables of contacts, one for virtual table from the BC, one for standard table. But again, it's basically your decision when do you need what and depending what is the best use case. But it's always good that you know that you have options and that you can decide what is the best option in that particular moment. So, thank you, and I hope that this video was interesting for you, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.